Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Louise Moriarty. I am laughing my head off because every day I go, I'm going to get more efficient at this, I'm going to get more functional at this. And then 5 seconds before the show starts, I'm working out how to make a banner or I'm thinking about what I need to do. And every night I go, I'm going to get a little bit more sleep and I'm going to be really organized and on point with what I'm talking about. And then my alarm goes off. Like today, my alarm just went off 20 minutes before, and I put it off till 14 minutes before. And so I just keep giving myself these expectations that I never live up to. So it's kind of funny that they're all my rules that I break. Like no one else has said, you must get up now, you must, except for me. And I've set up this show. So it is really just me giving myself a hard time about not getting the thing right that I want to write. So you may have tuned in today because you saw that I've been asking myself, why aren't I ever satisfied? And of course, well, I think there's a lot of us out there who feel unhappy a lot of the time, even if we're wandering around with a smile plastered across our faces, or even if we have brushed our hair, or even if, I don't know, even if we're kind of happy. I just get this sense that there's so much going on in the world and so many people feel like it's not right, but that doesn't seem to change it. So for me, I just feel like many people must be distressed about that, like particularly because we are interconnected, and particularly because we do care so much as humans and we are concerned with making things better. So of course we're always judging the world and our own outcomes based on whether things are getting better or not. Now, you don't have to live like that. You have a choice. And when I say that, I go, what? Because I just go, I have been jumping in and out of bed all weekend. Like, really, just going, I feel like shit. This is not going how I wanted it to go. Life does not look like what I wanted it to look. And it's ironic because I can have all the self-talk in the world and be telling myself that, yeah, but Louise, you've had all these great experiences. You managed to magic up things that weren't there. Your life is 100 times better than other people's. But still, first world problems. First world problems. I go, I know these are all first world problems. Yes, my bills aren't paid this week, but hey, I know there's money coming in. Yeah, I don't know if it'll cover all my bills. I don't know if I'll be able to eat, but hey, I've got a cupboard full of food. Like, really, life is sweet. I've got a roof over my head. I've got things I'm working on that I love to do. I've got people who care about me deeply, like I know that. So why aren't I ever happy? Why am I always in this space where I feel like nothing's ever good enough for me? I don't know, this general dissatisfaction, this malaise with life, it just feels like somewhere it is just mine. It's my dissatisfaction with myself, my lack of acceptance of myself. I've been doing this course. It's a course I made up. It's called Creating Calm. It's not called Creating Calm. That's the name of this fabulous network we're on. It's called Perfect Present. And it has been forcing me to take responsibility. And I thought I was really responsible. You know, in some funny ways, I thought I was doing the right thing. Now, I'm not sure who I was doing the right thing by, but once again, it's all my own made up rules, and I get frustrated when other people don't play by them. And, you know, I think I'm trying to be a loving person, but if other people can't love me the way I want to be loved, then I am out of there. Like, you can't love me the way I want to be loved? Cool, I'm out of there, people. So all these rules I've got about what's the right way to be loved and what's the right way to be me and what's the right way to do everything. I mean, just one example. We have unemployment benefits here. And I am like, I'm not going to go on it, ever. It's just against my rules. And this was a more rule I made up after I rorted the system for a long time. Like, you used to be able to travel as a fruit picker and then still get the dole. So, you know, I used that system to its advantage. And then suddenly, somewhere righteously, I went, no, that is not okay. I am going to be better than everyone else, and I am going to not take the dole. I am going to live without it forever. And so even when my business isn't working, or, you know, being doing Circus Tribe, particularly where I do circus for social and emotional well-being, I, you know, I have times where money isn't coming in from the business. You know, even when I may be working, like right now, I'm working quite a lot, but, you know, money doesn't come in for a month or something. So I'm like, okay, I will not go on the dole. I will not play to that card, you know. I will not be like that. Which, you know, gives me permission to be righteous around all kinds of things. Not that I'm against the dole, but I just know I'm better than that. And I know that there's better ways to operate in the world. One of them is being miserable and begging my friends all the time, because, you know, there's all these down days where I have to figure out a way to survive, and it doesn't feel very good, and I get miserable. But partly I've realized the miserableness is really just in my righteousness, and it's not even in my righteousness. Like, I've been fighting against being in polarities for a while now. Now, I'm certain that that works. Like, I'm certain that there is a magic spell attached to polarities. You know, judging things as good or bad or right or wrong, going, this is better or this is worse. I'm sure there's some not magic spell in that. I know it's brought me a lot of misery in my life. I know that I've spent time, I'm not sure why I'm doing that, but I just felt like you needed a bit of a wake up, because I do. I thought in my life, I've done a lot of activist work. Like, I've fought for causes left, right, and centre. And I've felt them deeply. Like, I have felt them. And I know what I'm feeling is right. Like, I feel, when I've seen forests get cut down, I feel the distress of the planet. I feel what other people feel a lot. I feel like the planet is, I don't know about my mother, but like my sister as well, like my everything. Like, I can't explain it because it feels like, you know, even saying the earth is our mother, it's like fabulous. And I applaud all the elders who are standing up and making people aware that there are people on the planet who are not going to take it anymore, who are willing to do whatever it takes for these things to be different. And many of them are totally available, like totally able to stand in what they know. But I just want to say it's like the earth is my sister, because it's just taking something out of that way we've come to know it, where we don't think about it. I was watching a documentary by Jerry Campbell the other day, and it's called Salt, and it's about this artist, Murray Frederick, who goes looking for the edge where night and day, where light and dark, where the horizon and the earth meet, where there's nothing particularly that we recognize in the landscape. So we don't just look at it, you know, we've just got so many images. We don't just look at it and go, oh yeah, I know that. That's what it's like. And it got me thinking too about language again. And I mean, Mel and I have so many conversations about language, about how are you using that word? What does that word mean? And I'm pretty lazy with the language. Like, I'll throw any word in there as a metaphor. But I guess that sense that we don't really think, we just say it. The earth is our mother. Oh yeah, I'm fighting for the rights of the earth. Who's our mother? But we don't actually drop in and feel what we're feeling about that. We don't allow ourselves the time or the space to let ourselves have that feeling and recognize what the story is we've attached to that feeling. So, and you know, this whole show is about happiness, is about what have I found out on my journey. You know, how can we have these magical lives? And my God, look at them. They're amazing. I mean, the majority of people who are watching this have food, have a roof over their head, have some friends, have the capacity to work the internet. You know, we've got small change in our jars. We've got, you know, many things that many people do not have. And yet we are always looking for the bit we haven't got. I was being asked to name what I value in my life and what's worth, you know, it's not what's worth something to me, but what I truly value, and not that's got the potential to create something else, but what I truly value that I have in my life right now, what I'm truly grateful for. And I was in one of my little hissy fits, and I was just like tantruming like a kid, and I was just could not answer. Like, even when the person made suggestions to me, I was just like, my mind just went, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but that money's not coming until later. Yeah, but I don't even like these clothes. They don't suit all the things I have to do. Yeah, but my friends don't understand me. Yeah, but, like, all the things I was listing at the beginning of the show, I had a yeah, but for. So I've taken up a challenge today of having no yeah, buts. Interesting. So whatever I look at in my life today and the next few days, and plus I want to make it, you know, the practice. I mean, I've had gratitude journals before where I've, like a bowerbird, picked out the bits that are not blue, picked out the bits that are going to make me happy. Interesting. you know, the gratitude journals ended up looking like a list of things I want more of, which is one way of doing it. There's no doubt that's better than writing a list of things you hate. But there's something about where you say that from, where you're standing when you say that. Because if you are just making a list to try and get more of the same, it isn't really true gratitude. You are looking at what's missing. We're doing lots of work at the moment. I want to flash that banner again because, as I was saying at the start of the show, you know, every day I'm like, I'm going to make this more professional. I'm going to be like, I don't know. I watched some comedic shows last night about Australian comedy and went, oh yeah, I always make people laugh. Why can't I just do that on the show? I should get with it. But anyway, that's another thing. Why can't I? I should, you know, always in this perpetual state of when I do, I will feel better. When I do, I will have permission to be happiness. And more than that, for me, I recognised last night is this sense of punishment that I can't be happy. Well, it used to be until all the poor people are happy. And now it's until the world is healed. And, you know, there'll always be some story that tells me I am not allowed to be happy. I am not allowed to stop and smell the roses. I'm not allowed to enjoy myself. Even though I may be doing things like Circus Tribe, where I get to go out and play and be joyful. You know, I can appreciate that moment, but I can appreciate the moment, but, and there's a huge but, and I don't just mean mine. I mean, there is a huge but. So, I don't know. I don't know if that helps you, because, I mean, I guess that's the thing. Nothing helps anyone else. Someone else can sit down with me and list all the things in my life that are totally fascinating to them. But if I don't see it, you know, I've had this magical experience of actually choosing to do the things I love to do and pursuing them. And somewhere I believe that I'm special enough to make interconnections with people who inspire me and blow my mind, really. And I guess, you know, for a long time it was collecting special people so I would feel special. But I realised I wouldn't want to be collected that way. And often it was living life vicariously, going, I wish I could live my life as freely or eccentrically or as personal to themselves as they did. And even that sense of they let themselves feel like, I know for me, sometimes I just go, I can't bear to feel like this anymore. And I don't want people seeing me feel the depth of my feelings. I don't want people to think I'm a freak. But at the same time, last night I came to a space where I was exploring how that serves me. Because the way that serves me is that it allows me to feel safe. It allows me to feel belonging. It allows me to feel loved because I get to be special. I get to be the judge of right and wrong. I get to be the person who feels so deeply for the planet and feels so deeply for people. You know, it's like she's a shaman. She's just, look at her. She just expresses what's in the moment. It's amazing. And she can see inside me and she can tell me what I feel, and oh my God, she's making me feel. Well, no. She's just doing what she loves to do, and she comes home and cries about why she doesn't feel like she belongs, or she comes home and feels shit because she hasn't changed the world the way she wants it to be changed. And she goes into despair about going, why me? Why am I so different? And gets more distressed about why she can't work it out when she's been busy doing courses and doing things all her life to try and figure this out. And even now I go, I'm telling you the story about it, but of course I am the storyteller. You know, you're not having a raw and lived experience with me of my nakedness and my ability to be and process my own truth. I'm not sure why, but I've been thinking, you know, you don't want this to just be a diatribe. You don't want me just telling you my mind chatter, because my mind chatter is the same as yours, pretty much, sometimes, bits of it anyway. And what you're come here for is to try and find a way out of those problems. You want someone to solve your problem. You want someone to tell you everything's going to be all right. I've been telling people forever everything's going to be all right. And you know what? I don't even fucking know if everything's going to be all right. But I guess I am learning to see what is all right in this moment and keep my focus firmly, squarely on that. That sense of self-trust is that ability to have self-trust is pivotal. It's just pivotal. I've been searching for things that make people happy. You know, I thought that was the goal of life, to be happy, to have happiness, to obtain the things and the experiences that will make you happy. For me, I decided that was the objective, to be happy. Now, being someone who thought that the world was going to hell in a handbasket, was feeling like shit, that things could always be better and I could always be better, meant that I could just never be happy. Because I was always on this precipice of finding the thing that would make sense, finding the thing that would give me permission to be happy. But nothing could, because I had this rule that I could not be happy until everything was sorted out. Until I had the solution to the meaning of life and everything. And we know what? It just depends on my story what that is. I was reading some data from the Arts Council of Australia, and I've been so blessed to be connected to the arts in my life. It's been a massive journey of festivals, and I love books, and we got to go to theatre when we were kids, and not so much theatre, more dance, and I love to dance. And you know, I've been such an advocate over time for circus as a tribal culture, for circus as a way of life that works on the world and gives you a place to be. And you know, I've probably said it before, but there's this great guy, Reg Bolton, and he says there's 5 things about, sorry, he's a clown. So he says there's 6 things about circus. 6 things about circus that are fabulous. 1, you find out how to be strong. You find out how to stand in your strengths. 2, you find out your self-identity. You find out who you are and what you're doing here. 3, you stand out from the crowd. You take risks. 4, you belong. You know your place in the group. You feel like you fit in and you know what your job is. You look up to other people. You aspire. You have role models. You know what you want to be. And then 6, fun. You put it all together and you got fun, and that's circus. So for me, I set up my business circus tribe, and I got to be a clown and make people laugh. But more than that, I got people to have an experience of play, which, you know, I think is amazing. I think play is extraordinary, and I wouldn't be without it in my life. I love that sense of making people laugh. So I've been this advocate over time for circus and what it can do for you, and meeting people like Reg who are totally inspiring to other people and set them off on paths to create circus schools, circus events. Well, I saw this thing the other day, and it was all these stats about how arts is contributing and separating arts out from life and going, it's valuable and proving its worth, which undoubtedly there is. There are health statistics, there are money statistics, there are ways of deciding that people engage in that. But, you know, it was saying, you know, 7 in 10 people read books or something. And I was like, 7 in 10 people read books, you know, and then there's that question of what kind of books, you know, like when it says they read them, what does that mean? They just skim over them for entertainment, or they read them and it has some effect on them? Oh, I don't know. You know, like I just started thinking about what do those statistics mean, and where do they get them from, and what is the difference between art and life anyway? You know, if you read the TV guide, is that reading a book? Well, you don't probably have TV guides anymore, but, you know, back in the old days when we had televisions and that was the only form of entertainment and media in the house, there would be this book that came out called the TV Guide, and it told you what was on telly. Anyway, you get the picture though. You know, if you read a manual to how to work a device, is that reading a book? Well, yeah. So, you know, our view of the world is really funny. We're always looking for that thing that will set us free, that will give us permission to play, permission to be happy, permission to feel what we're feeling. We're always looking for someone to tell us it's going to be all right. I mean, just what if it's not? I mean, whatever that means. What if it's just not? What if this is just what we've got? What we've got now is what we've got. You know, and whether I've managed to stop the fracking, or whether I've managed to do the great successful thing I wanted to do with my life, which was make myself happy and find ways to make other people free. Surely I've done that at certain times of the day. Surely at certain times. And no doubt, my purpose is acknowledged to me all the time by people around me. I just have to be willing to see it. And if I'm stuck in some story, some other story that doesn't necessarily make me feel good, but it makes the world make sense to me, then I'm always going to be preoccupied with that. Preoccupied with seeing where my story is true. Preoccupied with not reinforcing, but recognizing and honoring the rules that I've made up that work for me. And so here I stand, special, righteous, the person who can see what's going on, who knows who's living the dream and who's not. funny, I made this banner this morning. Yes, this is what people are like. It's the one thing I've learned to do on Google, so I've got to do it well. And, you know, plus I watched that comedian show last night. I want to be a comedian. I want to make you laugh. I want to make you happier than you were when you started this show. Yes, this is what people are like. They wake up with red faces and their hair's messy and yawning and having cups of tea. Well, this is what this person's like anyway. You know, like quite often I go out the street and this is part of the thing that makes me feel shit, is that juxtaposition between who I think I want to be, between who I act like and who I am. Now, I've got this story about my magical trip. And yes, it was magical, it was fantastic, but there was plenty of times in that where same thing that's happening right here, right now. Didn't have enough money, didn't know what was going to happen next, didn't know, had no control. And I felt nervous. I felt like, whoa. But because it was in that scenario of an adventure, and I like to be seen as an adventurer, and I like to be seen as free. And, you know, my story is that I have got this certain ability to be able to move through the world in that way. And I want to be that character. That's the story I was telling myself. That's the story I was telling other people. But then when I come home, there's another story playing out. The story where I'm not sure it's going to be okay. I'm not sure I can make things better. I'm not sure how to put this smile on everyone's face, you know, this smile that I've gone, yes, that's it, we're having fun, everyone's got to have fun, I'm supposed to be having fun, we're all supposed to be having fun, let's have fun. And this creates this headless Buddha, like this creates this person running around like this, and it works for me. I never get to be happy. I'm always running to the next thing. You know, even if it feels good for a moment, I want it to be better. I want it to be better. I want it to be better. There's got to be a better way. And I'm always looking for it, always trying to achieve it. Well, I'm going to keep it short today. Well, it hasn't been that short, but I wonder what your story is. I wonder what story you've been telling yourself and possibly making yourself wrong for. You know, what story is keeping you safe? And it may be that life's a shit and people are ignorant. But how does that make you feel special? How does that keep you safe? How does that make you feel like you belong here? You have a purpose. I would love you to check out me and Mel's website, which is on the bottom of the page right now, miraclesandwonderdownunder.com. Or if you go to my own Google Plus page, you can see a fabulous testimonial. Well, it wasn't a testimonial, it was a feedback call. You know, it was a call from a girl who's been doing the course, and her name's Jasmine. And so you can find it on my or Mel's, Creating Calm, not Creating Calm, my or Maud's YouTube channel as well. So Jasmine's story of the new mythology is very fabulous for her because she's so excited about what's happening, what's occurring, what she's seeing playing out in her life. And I wish you well in finding the story that's working for you, and recognizing it and honoring it and being happy that whatever story you created is working for you, because that's the only place we can be to make a choice to have a different story. We are perfect as we are, a heart of gold, a shining star. All we want is to find a way to feel our sweetness through the day. And as we shine our light out to the land, we just wish someone else would understand. We seek the truth everywhere. We seek the other one who cares. We allow ourselves to know that it'll be okay as long as we grow. And then we wonder why it doesn't get better, and our tears fall and our eyes get wetter. And we are there standing alone, calling out to people on the phone, wondering who can tell us it's going to be okay so we can feel better on another day. So whatever you're feeling, better or worse, be fascinated, because it's your loudest point.